Welcome to Joe's Astrology. Feels like a Sunday. All signs, sun signs in the houses, all signs. Feels like a Sunday, so we're going to do this on a Monday, although it's Labor Day. And I'm going to start with Capricorn. So the sun, what is the sun? The sun is your life purpose, your real life purpose, your current life purpose. What are you doing in your life right now? You wake up, you're 20 years old, you're 30 years old, you're 40 years old. This is what you're doing. The sun in the house. Just the sun in the house alone, not looking at anything else. It's not your north node, it's not your south node, although these things can come into play depending on what the whole chart looks like. If we break it down as simple as possible, the sun in the house is what you're doing right now, your current life. Start with the 10th house, the Capricorn house, sun in the 10th. Sun in the 10th could be that you are a father. You feel like you have sun in the 10th, and you feel like all things you're doing, being a father is your current life purpose. Maybe you have 3 kids, 2 kids, 1 kid, doesn't matter. And many people think that being a father is their, they would, if you just ask them, they'll say, oh yeah, that's my purpose, is to be a family person, is to be a father. And that's not just them saying that, that's not the case. That's not true. If you dive a little bit deeper into their life, so let's say they are a manager. Let's say they're a manager at a restaurant, or they're a manager of some sort, and they've been a manager for 30 years, and they're also a father. And you could say that they were a manager before they were a father. It's you could just as well say that them being a manager is their current life purpose. It's not being a father, as that would be, let's say their moon. Let's say their moon is also in the 10th house. That could be what they're referring to. It could be that their moon is in the 4th house. It could be their moon is in Cancer. It could be that their moon is in Capricorn, etc. They could have a moon-Saturn conjunction. So the sun in the 10th house is definitely going to have to do with them being some kind of authority, them feeling like they're the responsible one. It could just be somebody who takes responsibility in all areas of their life. Somebody that people look up to. All these things can correlate with them being a sun in the 10th house. So sun in the 11th house. Sun in the 11th house could be, you see a lot of people, especially being born nowadays, just being different. That could be your life purpose. It doesn't matter what you do. You could work anywhere. You're working. See, a lot of people confuse working and what you do for a living as being like a person's purpose, or they call it, the career, where that sun in the 10th house might really have a career. Again, you can look at their work life and you can see, oh, it's a career person. But in 11th house, they could have a career as well. But if you really, again, if you inquire and you really get to know that person and ask questions, you can see that they look different, they act different, they dress different, they're trying to be different. That could be what their sun is really expressing with the sun in the 11th house. It could be that they are famous, that they're a famous person, and that is the sun in the 11th. No matter what they do, they could be an actor or singer, or especially someone who's just generally famous. And that doesn't mean that if you have sun in the 11th house that you can be famous. One thing I want to point out is that a lot of this, you really have to ask the person questions and figure out what their life looks like right now. And also look at the astrology. And then you could say, the sun in the 11th correlates with someone who's famous. That doesn't mean that you can be famous too. I mean, you can do whatever you want. You can try to be famous, but you could also look at it this way. If someone is looking at astrology and thinking, oh, well, I want to be a father and I have sun in the 10th, so I should be able to make that happen. Or I want to be famous and I have sun in the 11th and I really resonate with that. Well, I can tell you right now, you can just do things like, if you're not willing to turn on the camera and do what I'm doing right now, there's a good chance that you're not ever going to be famous. Because famous people, for the most part, they like to be seen. And especially if you're middle of life and you don't have the courage to do something like this, then you're probably not going to be famous. So it's not always that the sun is in these houses and that you can be what one of the other descriptions are that I'm giving in this video. So you could also see like sun in the 11th. This could be someone who is using the internet for their work. This could be someone who's involved in information technology. This could be somebody who may be a mechanic, somebody who's very mechanical, works on cars. Sun in the 12th. Sun in the 12th could be someone who works with the public. Could be a doctor. Could be someone who works in a hospital. Someone who works in a jail. Anywhere where they have to do some kind of behind-the-scenes work, where they're away from... they are working with the public, but they're also could be the idea of... kind of jumbled that up. Because you have idea of working with the public, that's kind of being out there and working with people, but then there's also behind the scenes work, such as being in a hospital or a jail, etc. Sun the 12th could be a musician as well, because with modern astrology, it correlates with musical ability, acting with sun in the 12th. You know, the idea of being able to be somebody different from who you are, which also could correlate with the 3rd house as well, and Gemini, or Libra, and the 7th. So we have sun in the 1st. Sun in the 1st could be, more likely than not, they will be someone who wants to be a leader, someone who's adventurous. And I'm thinking of somebody that I know. I have sun in the 1st, and you know, it's not that you're always, another point to make out, it's not that you're always going to be expressing this. You could say in my life, you could look at it like this person's started different things, business ventures. I have a friend who's sun in the 1st, and he just works he was just working in an office. But if you get to know this guy, he is someone who is he's a leader. He's always in the gym, working on his body, things like that. So this isn't, for him being just an average person. The job, the family life isn't always going to correlate with this sun in the house. But if you get to know him, you can see that with the working out, really focusing on his body, playing sports, being an adventurous person, being a self-starter, sun in the 1st. Sun in the 2nd could be someone who is interested in setting foundations. Again, they could have just different jobs, making money. They're concerned about setting the foundation for their life. They're always worried or concerned about money, because that creates foundation. They're trying to build that foundation. They could be a family person because they're trying to build up a foundation. And the times that you're living, if having a family is something that's valued, that's going to be someone that the 2nd house person is going to do to build up their life. Sun in the 3rd, again, could be someone who's very scattered, someone who's a good communicator. So someone who works in, say, the travel industry, a salesperson, somebody who wakes up and they're always on the go. They're always talking to people, very social, friendly. This can be associated with their life purpose, with what they're doing in this current life. Sun in the 4th, very similar to the 10th. This could be someone who is interested in being a mother. That's the central part of their current life. They could be someone who's fairly introverted, somebody who spends a lot of time alone. Maybe this is a reader. Main current purpose in their life is to read. Maybe they have some 3rd house and some Gemini as well, and they're collecting information, and they're spending a lot of time at home reading. and looking at where life is headed. Maybe they're doing that for a reason. They're collecting information, they're learning for later in life, for something to occur, or for their new current life purpose. Sun in the 5th is going to want to express themselves. They're going to be, maybe they're around children, maybe they're very childlike themselves, maybe their life is about play. See, a lot of people, this 5th and the 11th is interesting, because a lot of people want this. They dream about this stuff. They want to be this person, and they can't, because as an average person, you are working. Maybe you're working a job and you're stuck doing that, and you want to live this playful life. So when you get off of work and you're around your friends, etc., this 5th house really comes to life, and you are just a playful person, and that's when you really feel alive. 5th house sun. You could be a gambler. You could be somebody who gambles in their free time. All you do is gamble. You love to gamble. 5th house sun. 6th house. Service to others. You maybe see a lot of religious people, a lot of people who are involved in hospital work, again, as a nurse. You may just find yourself serving others on a regular basis and have a regular job. You may be, you may have a special relationship with your pet, with your dog or your cat, and that is the current life purpose, to be in that environment around animals for some reason. 7th house. This could be someone who has a lot of friends, a lot of relationships. Maybe you're going through 3-4 different marriages. Maybe you have been in a lot of relationships. This is someone who's, why would that be the current life purpose, or the current life? Well, that's how that person is going to learn a lot about human dynamics, about human relationships, the interaction between men and women, etc. And there could be some reason for that. Sun in the 8th. You're going to be have much interest in, say, business and getting money from other people. You could be learning about the deeper sides of life. You may feel like your marriage is your current life, the main part of your current life. And again, a lot of people feel that way, but if you ask them questions and really get in deep, there's people that truly, majority of their mind is on their marriage, is on the deeper aspects of their relationship. Sun in the 9th could be travel, teaching. You might not even be like a teacher exactly in your life. Like, I know someone who's sun in the 9th. He doesn't work as a teacher, but this guy knows it all. He knows it all. He will. You get out, you talk to him, he's going to teach most of the people that come around him. He's going to try to teach them. So it's not always that you are a teacher in life, as I was mentioning with the other sun in the other houses. Same thing with sun. This idea of travel. You may work a regular job just so you can travel. You may be a waiter or waitress just so you can go around and travel and take trips on the weekends. You may be a regular person, and you are very religious. You're very serious about your faith, and you spend a lot of time on your faith outside of your work and in your free time. So to finish this up, a lot of this has to do with what you not so much what you want to do, but what you are doing. Excluding, but not necessarily excluding your work. No, I didn't say that right. Not necessarily including your work life, because the work life may be more of a means to just get the money to live the life that you are living. So, all signs, the sun, your current life. Have a great day.